Welcome back. So in this episode, we're going to try to finish up our tabletop. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 boards and we're going to run them through the planer. A couple of tips on the planer. Not that we're experts, because honestly we don't really know anything and we're just trying to figure it out. So what we're going to do is run these through the planer. One thing you want to do is, if you have a board that's warped, like the boards that I have, figure out which way is a little bit more solid sitting in the planer. That way it's not going to rock back and forth when you try to plane it. So we're going to plane one side and then we'll come back around and plane the other side. Also, dust collection, definitely recommend that if you're doing any kind of planing. I do have a Harbor Freight dust collector hooked up to this. If you don't have a dust collector, you can use your shop vac. This DeWalt planer, for example, does come with an adapter to use a regular 2.5-inch shop vac hose. I would recommend for your shop vac you get a cyclonic attachment like the Dust Deputy or similar. It looks like, I'm checking my boards, and I checked them with a straight edge, and they look like they're pretty flat, at least good enough for this little table project. So we're ready to move on to the next step. So now that we are done planing our boards, what we're going to do is we're going to take the nice side that I marked with an X earlier and put it up against my fence. I've set my fence to about 7 inches. And I'm going to put my boards through the table saw, and that will give me a nice edge on both sides. So that's what we're going to do now. All right, so now our 3 pieces are ready for our tabletop. And what we're going to do next is I've made a couple of lines here on the tabletop just so I can see which parts are the top and where things come together. Now we're going to cut some slots for biscuit joints to join these 3 parts together. So now we're going to go ahead and cut our biscuit slots using our Shopsmith. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, now we've gotten our pieces cut. We have our biscuit slots all cut, and I just test fit it real quick, and we're ready to put some glue on it, and then we're going to put some clamps on it. I've got just regular old wood glue here. Pull these apart. Go ahead and put some wood glue on my joint. Put it around. So now we have these boards roughly in place, and I'm going to do something to prevent this from sticking to the boards that I'm about ready to attach to it. What I'm going to do is actually pretty simple. I'm just going to grab some cling wrap. I'll put that on top. I'm going to go ahead and grab my large clamps, squeeze this together. One of the things I'm trying to do here is make sure that I don't have cling wrap down into my surface. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and also put some shrink wrap on the bottom side. And these extra boards are just trying to help me get everything lined up nice and straight and flat. Alright, so I have these just sort of loosely on here. Now I'm going to try to tighten these main clamps a little bit. Those boards are completely engaged next to each other. Now I'm going to tighten down these other ones. And there you have it. Now we just need to wait for the glue to dry.
And now we will be sanding our boards. And
so now why are we going to sand it? So we can finish it?
So we could finish it without sanding it. We just like it smooth.
Yeah, we like it smooth, and we had we want to sand a little bit where the glue's squeezed out, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. All right, let's see how it is. There's just a little bit. Feel that here?
Yeah.
Take your fingernail, TJ.
And a little bit right here.
All right, so now we have our tabletop nice and smooth. So our next step is I'm going to make a couple of slots on the end. And what I want to do is have a place that I can grab it with my fingers and push it around a little more easily. So in order to do that, we're actually going to cut a series of holes.
Okay, so how we're going to use it is we measured a certain length for our holes to make handles. And our handles we're using this drill bit to make the holes bigger so you can actually fit your fingers in.
Why are we using the Shopsmith?
Because it's better quality than the one over there.
All right, so we have a little benchtop drill press, but you can see the table on the Shopsmith is a lot bigger and a lot nicer. So we're ready to get started. So we have a little cleanup there. So now we have slots for our tabletop. See?
I think the bottom's a little rough. But
Yeah, we're going to clean those up with a router.
So now we will be using our router.
And what are we going to do with the router?
We are going to make this more smooth.
We're going to make the edges a little bit easier, right? Because now they're all sharp.
Yeah, making the edges more smooth.
So we're going to start with our slots that we cut right here. And we cut those using our forstner bit. And they look pretty good, but we want them to be just a little bit smoother on the edges. So we're ready to get started. So we're going to start with some inside cuts. So we're going to cut clockwise on an interior cut. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here. In this case, I'm using a 3/8 round over bit. All right, now we're going to go around the outside of our board, of our table. So for that operation, we're going to use a counterclockwise rotation.
On the end.
A little tip here. First, we're going to go the short way. You might say, why are you going to go the short way? Because we're cutting on an end grade here, there's a chance that it's going to tear out some of the end of this cut. So if I go this way first, and then I go along the long way, then if I have a little bit of a tear out going on here, that'll be fixed with my next cut. So this is exactly what we were talking about. See, I got a little bit of tear out here. So we're going to come back later and we're going to fix that. All right, guys, so here's where we are so far. We're going to probably wrap it up for this episode. We have our tabletop, and you can see we created a couple of slots, and where this is going to be steering for our cart. We created these slots with a forstner bit on the drill press.
And we also smoothed out the sides.
We went around all the exterior of the tabletop, and we also went around these slots. So now it's all nice and smooth. And next time we will finish the tabletop, and then we will start building the structure that goes underneath it. So we'll see you then. So goodbye from now from 2 Phillips to Shopsmiths. See you next time.